John Robin Powell, and I was in a car crash on January 27, 2001.
Hi, my name is Sean, and I was struck by a vehicle on my bike on April 28, 2015.
Hi, my name is Leo Rogers. I was in a motorcycle accident December 1st, 2007.
My name is Valerie. My daughter Lexi was killed by a car October 6, 2015, crossing the street for school.
Saturday morning we get up, like I said, we get ready to walk out the door. And I did not know that my life was going to change forever. At 11:30 a.m., a young girl, Nasha Zaria, was at a pub drinking that morning, and she left the establishment drunk. At 11:45 a.m., this young lady crossed the center lane, crossed all 4 lanes and hit us head on. My son was driving, and he did nothing wrong. We did not see this girl coming across the lanes, and she hit us head on. It was so scary, and it hurt so bad. There was a Trauma Life in the ER, that's a real-life medical team. They were filming there because it was the day before Super Bowl.
She's not talking at all. She seems to understand everything we're saying. She said she has no feeling of movement from the nipple line down.
I was completely paralyzed from the shoulders down. I couldn't feel anything. I was barely breathing, and that's all I remember. They do everything just to try and get me to stay alive.
We just have to assume that she has a spinal cord injury until we do a whole lot of studies that say she doesn't, or she gets mad at us and gets up and leaves.
January 27th till May 10th at Tampa General in intensive care. You never know that your life can change just like that because of someone's bad choice. Chris was driving that day. He was 17, and he turned 18 the day I came home. And all of a sudden, for a young man, I had to see him become a man overnight. He was so much guiltiness in his heart. And he says, "Mommy, I never saw her coming." So when I came home, I couldn't go back to my own home because being a single mom, who's gonna take care of you when you're a quad from the shoulders down? Somebody has to shower you. Somebody has to feed you. They have to put clothes on you. You can't brush your teeth. You can't do nothing. For about 30 days before we went to trial, she went and had another DUI.
From my experience, most drivers don't know. They get angry with cyclists. They don't think that they have a right to be in the road. They think they should be on the sidewalk. They don't realize that a cyclist is going 25, 30 miles an hour, and that's not safe on the sidewalk. Being a bike messenger at the time, that's how I made my living, as a cyclist. And I was on a delivery for my employer at the time. I was waiting for the light to change, and I'm looking down the street and I notice a car ran the light, smashed right into a taxi cab, and the next thing I know, the cab is closer and closer and closer and out of control, driving right towards me. And I was right next to a street light, a pole, so I thought, I'm gonna get pinned and die. So I biked out to protect myself, and at that same moment, the cab also realized he was about to hit that pole and made the same correction, smashed right into me. And as soon as I was struck, it flung me maybe 10, 15 feet into the air. And I fell down right on my back. Thankfully, I had a helmet on, and I couldn't move my arm. Every time I tried to raise it, it was in extreme pain. Broke my scapula, it turned out later. But I was out of work for at least 3 or 4 months and didn't make a full recovery for at least 6 to 7 months. After my initial cycling injury, I suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder. I was even afraid of just the sound of approaching cars coming from behind me. It's a very traumatic experience. I had another crash on Florida Avenue one evening, going home on my way home, when I was biking down Florida Avenue in the bike lane, and as I turned onto my street onto Genesee, a car behind me rear-ended me and just drove off. Fortunately, I was okay. My bike was destroyed, but I was okay. But I got up and I was baffled how someone could just hit someone and just drive off the scene and not even care. It was shocking. Things that would normally cause a simple little fender bender could end a cyclist's life. So be aware, do a little research on your own and look up the bike rules. We're all out here together. And to other cyclists, I would say, you only anger motorists when you disobey the same rules that they have to abide by. And so when you, as a cyclist, don't abide by those same rules, you cause a snowball effect of disgruntled motorists. So pay attention.
People had to drive or catch the bus. I was fortunate to ride a motorcycle. So I got pretty good, and the motorcycle we had was just, getting old. So got this new motorcycle, Suzuki GXX 1000. So it was just nice, having something like that, and that's where things turned. This is a typical day. I went and got some work done on it, so it felt really good, but it let me know that something else was wrong. So I wasn't supposed to ride that day, but I was like, I won't be reckless, I'll just keep it safe. So, but still want to be, get one in here and there, a wheelie here and there, and they said I flew past them doing like 100 and something, and when I came down, they heard it, and I veered right and hit a guardrail and flipped into the river. My helmet kept my head floating because it's just styrofoam, so that's how they seen me, and that's when they, jumped into the river. Another one slid down and pulled me out. It took me a while to kind of accept that. I was like, I kind of accept that I did this to myself. Like, this is your fault. Well, nobody else's fault but yours. Like, you did this, you want to go out there and be hard-headed, and, this is the results of, your stubbornness. They did slow down. A lot of them got rid of their crotch rockets and bought cruisers. Nobody really rides like that. Now they just, casually strolling, ride to a park, ride to this event, ride to that event. So a lot of that did change, just the whole cycling period, and then me taking on bicycles and still rolling up to these events on a bicycle is just, it really set the mindset and, showed them that, dang, he all right, like he's okay, like literally he's okay. So, it just gave them a positive look, and like, whatever issues that they're going through, like, well, man, if he can do it, I know I can. Please wear a helmet. Even when I'm like just out and about, just talking to kids and stuff like that, yeah, and then the bike walk, Tampa thing, me working at a bike shop, just telling them about different helmet technologies, and if you just pay just a little bit more, you can get this kind of helmet to, really put you in the safe zone to where you would want to wear a helmet, because for one, you paid that much money for a helmet, and then for two, it's not a bad looking helmet. It's like a nice hat. So it started a few years ago, started getting into it, learned that there's some events that I could go to kind of get me to at least to like national events, and I want to at least get to these Olympics. So I told myself, I don't make 2016, I'm going to make 2020. So I'm just in go mode right now. And I know there's a few years to start, but I'm just in go mode to try to get there and just train and get faster and just, get myself together.
She was just so full of life. She fun-loving. She loved everybody, she loved music. She was a big the city of Tampa fan, like all the historical, the towers. She loved the towers. She had goals, She wanted to get a car, and she was about to move, and she just wanted to finish school. And she had talked about being a welder because women welder made a lot of money. And I was like, really, a welder? Yeah. So, you know, she stayed with my mom during the week because that was, you know, the school district. So my mom would drop her off in the morning. And my mom assumed every time she dropped her off that her and her friends were going to the crosswalk, but they very seldomly did that. They would walk, you know, where there's a turning lane. It's not a lifted median, just a turning lane. So they would, you know, cross the 2 lanes, wait there, wait for the other 2 lanes to clear up, and then go the rest of the way. And same thing that morning. But unfortunately, that morning, there was a man doing 47 miles per hour in a turning lane, using it as a passing lane. Where he was going, we don't know, because the traffic was at a dead stop. So who were you passing? You know, I mean, there's blame in both areas there, but still, kids are kids, and teenagers are more fearless than elementary school kids. So when they say, oh, they're a little more lax on what they do for high schools because they know better, well, no, they're more fearless. They need that same safety that an elementary school gets. So she was, you know, dropped him off like she normally did, and she didn't get, but it was like 2 minutes later that my daughter's best friend called her and said, Meemaw, you gotta come back. You know, Lexi just got hit by a car. And so, you know, she said, like at first it was just like real, you know, surreal, like she was there but not there. And just the blame and the guilt that she went through, you know, because she was the one that dropped her off. That she was still there when you know, my son was trying to distract me because he could see the sheet still on the road. So he was trying to draw my attention from that. It goes through, it's like a roller coaster, you know. It's an ache, like a physical, like, ache. At first, I was denied, like, it's not really, like, true, you know, waiting for her to come through the door. And then, you know, coming to terms with it and trying to get counseling and trying to help my mom, like, just get through that guilt and just know that, you know, that she didn't do anything wrong is really hard. You know, that's the first thing that they found with her was her phone, you know, and I'm like, great, you know, there's the thoughts in my head. Did she have her phone? Like, was she texting, you know? I mean, the first thing she did before she left the house was take a selfie, you know? And I'm grateful for that selfie today, you know, but the phones are a very big distraction.
We lose our teenagers every day because of texting. That is just as bad as drinking and driving.
It's common to pay attention to the driver's eyes and where they're looking. And 9 out of 10 times we see looking in the phone, driving 50 miles an hour, looking in their phone. And so when drivers are texting while driving, it's extremely concerning and troubling as a cyclist because it only takes a split second for them to make a left or right, merge, and smash into us and kill us.
Like, don't be on your phone, you can wait till you get to your job or whatever. You know, just turn your radio up and just enjoy your ride, but definitely paying attention to the road, man, is just a big thing. And to hear all these hit and runs, it just doesn't make any sense.
Just, you know, think twice before you look down at that phone, slow down. I mean, I know it's hard to say when people are running late for work and stuff like that, but that 1 minute could save a life. You know, and the same thing with walkers. Take that extra walk to a crosswalk. You know, take that extra waiting time to cross the street. And, you know, just think about the family that's going to suffer if a life is taken. You know, like we've really been going through it. You never think that it's going to be you, but it can definitely be you.